Hi, everyone. Let me know when you're here. There's Thelma. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Donna. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you're here. I have been so busy in the craft room, and I'm pretty excited. I'm getting some vellum. You know what? Let's talk about vellum for a second while I'm on here. I'm glad to see you too, Donna. Thank you. Sue Crafter says hello. Um, let's talk about vellum for a second. My very favorite vellum was basil, and I can't find it anymore. So if you know where I can find it, let me know. Holland, what's that, Thelma? I think she means hello, but I don't know. She's speaking another. Oh, hola, Ricardo. She's speaking Espanol to Ricardo. Let's talk about vellum. I miss this basil. I know, aren't they so cute? Hi, Cindy Ryan. Thanks for joining us. Let's talk about vellum. A lot of people don't realize it, but vellum comes in different weights, just like paper does. And my very favorite was basil. And you can see through it, but it's pretty heavy. I think this was considered 40 pound. If you know where to get this, someone told me a company bought basil, and I can't remember. Is it Crafter's Companion? Anyway, this was my favorite. But now that I've been forced to venture out, I'm experimenting with different vellums. And hi, Laura Stahl. You're a little late, or I was a little late. I may have been a minute late. I don't know. Because I lost track of time because I was crafting and doing these cuties, and I had to run to the restroom. And then Ricardo made some air fryer chicken. Had to have a couple bites of that. But here we are. So I've been experimenting with different vellums, and I found a couple of different weights. And I actually realized that it's good to have different weights of vellum. And I made a card this week for Stamp Timber. Simon Says Stamp. I made an Alex Siberia card, and I used my favorite basil, what I have left, but I realized it was a little too thick and you couldn't see through it. It wasn't transparent enough. And I wish that I had used this lighter weight one that you can see, look, is a little bit more translucent, because you would have been able to see the ink smooshing that I had done. So it made me think about things. So I have been, as you can see, creating with these adorable gingerbread cuties. Like, seriously, this is exclusive to the My Pretty Things Nashville Craft Retreat Crafting Sweet Memories workshop. Look, seriously, look at Mrs. Claus. Oh, is she not the cutest thing you've ever seen? I have to tell you, this is the first time I crafted with them, and I just wanted to cry when I made her because I thought she was so cute. And then look at Santa. Seriously. When we designed these, I really wanted something that was in my mind. And I looked, because I always look. I told you this last week or a couple weeks ago, that I always go, because why create something that's already been created, like just another gingerbread. But I had these guys, and like Bonnie earlier chatted with me, and she said, oh, they're like paper dolls. I said, that's exactly what I was thinking when we created these. I wanted different outfits, and I didn't want just one gingerbread basic cookie. I wanted an ugly sweater. And look, with a bow tie and a candy cane. Stop it. And look at his hair. Oh my word. And so we came up with these adorable gingerbread cuties. So we've got Santa, the little gingerbread man. You can make Santa, or he can have an ugly sweater, or he can just be a gingerbread man, right? Like, seriously. So, but we've got different things going on. And then, because more is more, we've got Mrs. Claus for our little girl. And oh my word, like, stop it. How cute is she? And then here's the thing, because I want to use things in other ways. How many bows have we released? Like, how many bows? There are 3 bows exclusive to the kit, not available until 2026. There's 1 bow that has been released in the store that is available. But then you've got this one. You could even use this on some other cards and stuff, right? Oh my goodness. I know, Laura, and kits go out soon, you know, in just a week or two. Look, so you can use this bow. And now you have a little bow tie. If there's something else you want to put a little bow tie. And look, there's layers to the bow tie and the bow so that you can have the shading that, you know, we need to really show. So there's a layer for the bottom and then there's the top layer. So you get all that dimension. Isn't that cute? Same thing with the candy cane. You get the little one layer solid for the back and then you have the red that's cut out and it cuts perfectly. I have to tell you, I am thrilled with my manufacturer and the quality of what they produce and, you know, what we've gotten, because we've got even these teeny tiny little eyebrows and nose and mouth and the detail on this little candy cane. Look. And that Christmas tree and the bow tie. It's like, come on. It's spectacular. I love it. So we've got the Mrs. Claus and I'll show you the back because the packaging has different ideas for what you can do. So we've got the little baker for all of your baked goods. And she's got a rolling pin. How cute. And I'm thinking she needs little tiny, you know, those little beads that look like little cookie sprinkles for her hair. How cute would that be for a little frosting hair? And then we've got the angel. And that's what I was going to work on right now. Hi, Bonnie. Isn't she just so cute? So I've already cut out a lot of the pieces. And I want to show you a couple of tricks on how to do these. Let's see. I've got her cut out and I want you to also see, I don't know if you can see it, but when you use the die, let me show you. Now the gingerbread man, I think we might need, at least for my machine, I needed a little piece of paper shim, but on the little girl, you see how we've got these little lines that don't cut and all they do is emboss. It cuts out her eyes, but it just gives you an embossed impression of these other pieces. So you know exactly where they go. You don't have to guess about it. And can you see it? You can see it, I think, on her. Let's see. Let me turn her just the right. There you go. See her little arms? And her, if you were here with me, there, you can see her face. So you know exactly where to put a little bit of glue. Look at her legs. And you know exactly where to put the frosting. Super, I made it as easy as possible. And so I want to show you how I did. So her eyes cut out, okay? So there's no guessing or anything with that. So all you have to do is take a little piece of score tape, okay? This is so super simple that I decided I wanted to show it. Put it right behind her eyes. And leave the backing on because you don't want to stick to everything. And there's the sticky part coming up through her eyeballs, her eyes. So let me show you. And then let me see, what did I do with I had this little piece of white paper. And let's see. I think I may have lost it already. This is what happens when I'm like, oh, I'm going to show this. And then I lost it and I had it all ready to go. I'm going to have to do a new one. So let's cut some new eyes. And I want to show you what I did. I like to use just white and cut out the faces. And then look, can you tell? I left the pieces in here and I just colored it with a marker. And so for the eyes, I'll show you what I did. Okay. And I just scribbled and colored and then cut their hair out. That way I'm not pulling out 10 colors of colored cardstock. I'm making my life easy. This is for the lazy crafter. If you want a fancy, pretty brown, and then you want to do some shading and stuff, have at it. That's fantastic. But I wanted to show you, if you want to be lazy, like I can be sometimes, what to do. And I found it. I don't have to cut it out. Yay, here it is. So I cut out her face and then I put some repositionable tape. I just took my tape and did a little swipe. And then when I cut her out, I took the little brown pieces. Can you see that? That's an eye. Let's put my hand here. There's one eye and there's the other one, and I already colored the other one. All you have to do is take a marker. So here's my 110, and because it's stuck down, I don't like to use my sticky mat because I don't want to color on my sticky mat. And then all you have to do is color like that. Like there's a button if I wanted to, if it were sticky right now. I could just color it and use your white cardstock as the shim. It makes it easy. So now I've got her eyeballs. I've got my tape behind the eyelids. I guess I should say eyelids. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And all I have to do now is pick these up. Don't even need to use glue. It makes it super easy. It's on my thumb. And I can piece it right in there. Oops, I knew that was going to happen. But I like that better than getting, I did use black cardstock for some of these other pieces, but it's so much easier. I thought, why don't I just color them? And look how easy that is. Then piece it in there and it sticks to that tape. And then this one, take this one out. And piece it in there. How easy. And then you have the dimension because you're paper piecing in, and you've got that tape back there. And look how perfect these die cuts cut those little eyes and eyelashes. Isn't she so cute? She is so cute. Let's get some cheeks going on here. And all I did for this is just a dot of glue and a dot of glue. And I did cut these out of pink cardstock because I cut her dress out and everything too. And I want to make sure I get the right side of it. And because we've got that little embossed area, I know exactly where her cheeks need to go. And it makes it super, super easy. Now, here's her little mouth, and it cut out of pink. But look, it doesn't matter. I can put it back down on that repositionable tape because I think I want her mouth to be red. And it's stuck down because of that repositionable tape. I can just use like R27, R29, whatever you want, whatever color. And it's stuck down. And look how easy that is. Just color it with a marker. And then... And you could, if you wanted to, if you have a Xyron machine or sticky specs, you know, I have love-hate relationships with those, so I tend to stick to my glue. Some people love them. Maybe I need lessons. I don't know. But I have a love-hate relationship, so I just tend to do it this way. You do you. And get this up. And I know exactly where it goes because the line's there. I put my glue down. And there we go. Look how cute her little, and it's perfect because I colored it. No need to worry about anything. Now, I need her nose and her eyebrows. And can you see the embossed lines for those? I have red ones because I cut out a red, but I don't want to use those. So here's the other thing. Look what I realized. Oh, this is for the other one. I was starting on my angel. So I have her hair. I put her dress on, but wait. Look, I even forgot how we designed her because I wanted the frilliest, the fanciest, cute little dress we could do. So she has a little petticoat under here too. Stop! Look, and I even forgot, and I already glued this little dress down. So I don't want to redo it. We could do it on this one. You know what? That's what we'll do. We'll do it on this one. Let's cut this out. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to show you. Let's do this a different way. So we've got, and look, this dress even has a little embossed line so you know exactly where to put the little frilly line, okay? Do you just use a low tack tape runner? Yes, Laura, look. It's my repositionable scrapbook adhesives easy dots, and it even says repositionable. That's what I use. You know, when I stick card bases together, this is what I use. That's what I use just to be able to pick those up easily, right? So super, super easy. Here's what I want to do. I want to use the new Wow Crystal Kisses My Pretty Things embossing powder that we designed. They designed just for us. And you do get this in the kit, but you can buy it in the store. Like if you want more or you're not getting the kit and you just want that, that's fine. So I'm putting some Versamark on my white cardstock. I'm also going to do the wings when I cut those. I'll die cut those first. But because we have such little dainty pieces for this, I'm doing the whole piece of cardstock. Let's zoom back out, okay? Let me get a piece of paper. How is everybody, by the way? I didn't ask that at the beginning. I hope everybody's doing well. It's gotten hot again. I told Ricardo, get ready. We're going to have a second summer. Don't get too excited the one day, the couple days it was so nice and no humidity and low heat. I told him, he didn't believe me. I said, get ready. We're going to have another summer coming. Okay, so here's the Crystal Kisses. Putting it on the white cardstock. Oh, can you see? I don't think you can see how shiny it is. And I'm not going to tap too much off because I want it. Look. Ooh, isn't it so pretty? Diana's driving to Charlotte tomorrow to see her family. Be safe, Thelma. Okay, put that in there. And let's go ahead and I'll do the wings in a second because I need to cut those still. So let's turn this on and heat it up. I'm going to take it a second. I always start on the back with a chunky, because this is a kind of a chunky embossing powder. Start first on the back and let it start to melt, and then flip it over so it doesn't fly everywhere, right? Sometimes it'll heat almost all the way through, but this way it melts the bottom and you've got a good base going, and then flip it over and do the front. I don't know that you can see this as it goes, but it's real chunky. I wanted it to look as much like sugar crystals with as much sparkle as we could get. And I tell you what, wow, they did a fantastic job. And I'll see if you can see this. It's got a lot of texture to it. It's so pretty. Can you see all the sparkle? Totally translucent, lots of dimension and texture. Can you see it? I want it to look as much like sugar as possible. But if they left it too chunky, it would just flake off. So it is, stuck on there, but you can feel it. And look at, can you see all the pretty glitter? It is, you're not going to be able to see how pretty it is in here. But we're going to cut this out. But I also want to, while we're at it, we're going to cut some wings. And we're going to use, hi Belinda, how are you? These dies are the gingerbread cuties from exclusive to the My Pretty Things in Nashville Craft Retreat virtual and in-person holiday workshop kit. It's $199 and you get like 400, I think I figured it up, $400 worth of product. But I'll show you. We've got the gingerbread girl. Look, she makes Mrs. Claus, a baker, and the angel. Aren't they so cute? And then we've got the boy. This one, or no, that's the girl again. Hold on. And then here's our little gingerbread boy. He makes Santa, and then he can go to a party with an ugly sweater. So that's our little gingerbread boy. And those are just two out of all the things. I forget what I figured out, how many pieces were in there. So that's what I'm using tonight. I'm just kind of giving a little quick rundown. And then we're going to use some other things that are in the store also. So let's put this here. Let's put the vellum here. And I want to cut the wings out of vellum. And then we're going to cut all of her little kind of pieces, fancy pieces. Let me find the die. let's cut the dress out, and I'm just going to put it right here on the edge because all I want is the bottom sparkly. So we'll put that there, and then I lost some pieces already to my little gingerbread girl. Here, we're going to use this one. Perfect. I've got just enough. And then we're going to cut that vellum out. I like to cut more than one thing at once, okay? So let's run that through the Empress. I know it's an ugly sweater voice, though, handsome. And you can make his sweater. It's like Bonnie said, it's like paper dolls. You can make it, make his ugly sweater. It doesn't have to be pink, you know, it can be any color. But I like that you can see his little bow tie. Okay, so we've got her skirt that we're just going to be able to see the petticoat. Look, can you see how sparkly? You just can't see how sparkly it is on camera. It's so pretty. So we're going to put that on the bottom, and then we've got all the little pieces to add for her icing because she's an angel. So we need her to be as sparkly and pretty and heavenly as possible, right? So she just needs all the things. And I've already die cut out her little gold halo. In the kit, you get a quarter sheet of gold mirror because we need Mrs. Claus glasses, and you need buttons for Santa, and then you need her little halo, right? So you had to have some gold mirror. So let's get all these out. And that way, all of her little frosting pieces, even though she's still gingerbread, they want to stick in there because it's got so much dimension from that embossing powder. Ooh, there was so much dimension, it kind of stuck too much. We might have to cut these out of paper before we add any embossing powder because that one stuck. We'll see how the other one does. It's just because it's so dimensional and it's such a fine little line. There's that one. We'll see. So I only messed up one, so we'll use it. You know, I'll just fix it. Okay, let me get this one out. Goodness. Use your pokey tool, and then you could also use your tweezers. And then we got to get this one out. There. Be gentle with it because, you know, it's just a little fine line. Perfect. Look how perfectly that cut out, even with that embossing powder on it. Now, let's get her wings. And we cut those out of that transparent vellum. Look how pretty. And let's put the embossing powder on those so that they look really pretty. Aren't they just so cute? I love it so much. I had so much fun making these earlier. And I have to tell you, didn't take very long either. You know me, I don't want to spend hours and hours, even though cards normally take me forever. You know, sometimes you just want to get to the point and you want it to be so, you just want to see what it looks like. And who's got time to mess around, right? So, and it was cute. Oh, look, and see, I need her little, I did cut one of those out already. And I cut the bottom piece of her dress. And there's her little kind of collar. So we'll have to do those too. Let's do those when we do her wings. Let's do her wings first. And I cut those out first. So let's get the embossing ink on there. Okay. Make sure. Someone's texting. Who's texting? It's my family. Sorry. I don't know if you could hear it or not. Okay. Let's get this on here. Oh, when you use it, you can even hear the chunkiness of it. It's so, so cute. I love it. Lots of dimension. Okay. Hey, Ricardo. I did remember, I forgot to tell you that. Sorry, everybody. Let me tell Ricardo something. Sorry. Gabe's going to Taco Bell with his friends because, you know, it's homecoming week. Is that what he's telling you?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I forgot. Sorry, everybody. Had to get Ricardo. Can you see this? Wait a minute. Look, you might be able to look at the chunkiness of that. Like it's snow crystals or sugar crystals. I was thinking gumdrops when Wow and I were working together. That's what I told him. I said, I want as chunky, translucent, all the sparkle we can get. So it looks like the most sparkly sugar gumdrops you can imagine. And I tell you what, I just love it. So let's start behind. And it might not take as much with using the vellum. And can you see it? Oh my goodness, this is perfect for these wings. I have to tell you, look. Let's put this down. Ooh, I love it. Let's do this one little part. Got it. Now, look at her wings. Aren't they perfect? Can you see all that sparkle? And if you wanted even more, do it again, right? But look, how could you need any more than that? It's perfect. Okay, I'm going to bend these just a little bit in the middle because they'll go behind her anyway. Okay, there's even a little chunk right there. There we go. It just came off with my finger. Okay, so we're going to use this one because now we're going to, look, can you see? Oh my goodness, look how pretty her wings are. We did a perfect job, everybody. Look. Oh, I love her. Okay, we've got the petticoat somewhere. Here it is. So that's going to go there. And then we need to cut her dress out. Did I cut her dress out again? Before we do that, let's get these pieces on. So we need, look, this is her frosting. Let's look at our guide. Okay, so on this one, on our picture, we didn't even put the frosting on her face. We only did it on her hands and her feet because we have her hair. So that's, or you could do it. Look how cute she would be. It would look like almost like another halo, but I'm okay with that. So we'll leave that. Oh, and I used her hair on that one, so we'll have to do a different one. I know, Laura, aren't they so cute? Oh my goodness. And you could make her dress just all white, right? Whatever you wanted to do. So let me get this one out. Okay, you want to hear a story? Here's why I have 2 of the gingerbread cuties out. Because I had so much going on my desk. My arm stuck. It stuck to the tape on here, because that's how they get they stick the dies down. So my arm stuck to it. It picked up her face. And then it fell on the floor, and now I can't find it because my craft room is such a disaster. So I had to get out a new pack. This one will be like Thelma's. I'll give it to Thelma since I opened it and hopefully won't lose. But look, I lost her face. Fell on the floor. I'll find her. I'll find it. I'll find it. But that's why I have another one. Because, here's the thing. I don't know if you do this, but the tape kind of gets gunky. It tears from the card. I like to use a magnetic sheet behind my dies to hold them in place. I do think I'm going to look for a little bit stronger ones than what I have and have been using. I really need a stronger one because it needs to go through the cardstock to hold them better. So that's why I got a new one out. So this will be Thelma's and she won't mind. And I'll use hers and I won't lose it. Right? So let's get this out. And here's how her face is. Now, also, I want to tell you, the manufacturer does a great job of putting these on a card. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to work with them a little bit more for the next releases. I want things to be a little bit closer because this is a big card and I have certain size pockets that I use and I know you do too. And I want them to make smaller cards that will fit in the pockets better. So I trim down the sides. I move these dies over and I trim down the sides so that they'll fit in one of my pocket sleeves. Okay, so I just, and look, you won't even know it. I trimmed, this is the boy, not the girl. Here, I trimmed this one down. Can you see? I trimmed down the sides right to the edge, and it fits now. But I'm going to talk to the these are the things you learn when you start manufacturing, right? See, I knew you'd take it, Thelma. I didn't think you'd care. Okay, let's do this. Here's my dress. And then there's her little face that I needed some of the other pieces. That's what I lost on the floor. And oh, let's talk about this too. I do want to tell you, I think I shared this last week, but coming at it from a crafter's point of view, I grouped things that I thought were like you'd cut out both of these gold things. I didn't want to have to deal with separate glasses and separate halo. It's all in one piece. And that way you don't lose one. And even her face, you know, if we cut it out of white and we color it, it's all one piece. Same with this, all one piece. So we're not dealing with all these little tiny pieces, and then that way you're not losing it. So I really try to think of things the way that I would use them as a crafter. And here's this bow. Here's what I was telling you. There's a solid one for the darker color back. And then you can use a lighter color for this one that has the cutouts, so you can get the dimension of the shaded bow. These are the things, you know, I try to think through, like, how would I use this as a crafter, and what kinds of things kind of get on my nerves in the past when they weren't created that way. Same with the embossed lines. I wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to know where everything goes. Super simple. So I really tried to think through all these things for you. And that's what we did. Okay, so let's do this now, and trying to think what else. Do we need some more white? I think I may have gotten all the white pieces that I needed. Oh, I need her face done in white. So let's put this, I don't think you can see it here, and you won't see it. It's on the bottom. Or we can, there's a little bit of space right here. We'll do her face right here. Okay? So we're only cutting one. And then I'd really like to get to show you something else too. Something that's in the store, not exclusive to the kit. There are a lot of things not exclusive to the kit. So by all means, go shopping if you aren't getting the kit. But a lot of things are. And what I tried to do is, it so that you would know, look, there's my face, so that you would know what's in the kit and what's not. In the description of each item, it says if it's in the kit. So that way if you want to go shopping for the other things, if you are registered for the workshops, then you won't get confused and you won't double purchase something that you're already going to get. Although I do try to catch those things when I'm pulling orders for people. Like today, someone had a discount that they meant to use. I knew they had a kit, and she didn't put in the discount code. So I went back and redid it and gave her a refund for what, because she had missed it, or maybe she thought it figured it and it didn't. So I'll try to catch it, but double check and see what you're getting in your kit and what you're not when you're shopping. Because I did put everything in the description for you. And Laura, that's why I put them all in that one piece. It makes it super simple, right? Did you see the face? Like, that's why I put it all in one piece. And then what's nice is it stuck to my magnetic mat, and now I can transfer it. I don't really want to color it on the magnetic mat, although I could. It won't, ooh, there's stuff that came. Probably 3 boxes, right, Ricardo? Paper came today. So I'll show you the Sweet Memories paper is so pretty. So it just arrived, and Ricardo is bringing it all in for me, and there's like 3 boxes of it because I knew y'all would want a lot. Okay, look how cute. Isn't this? Look at this petticoat. So she's got a petticoat. And then let's get her face on a piece of paper like I showed you. Look, here's how I do it, Laura. Here's my tape. Look, just swipe a little piece. And then we are going to pick up the pieces. Don't want to lose her dress. So look, I just kind of get them, they kind of stick to the mat. There's even a teeny tiny, look, she's got a little teeny tiny nose. So we need to not lose that. So first let's do her eyes. Oh, we've already done her eyes, so we don't need those. Get those out of the way. But we need her mouth. Nope, I already did her mouth. Look, I had already colored that one. Can you see it? So cute. So all we need are her eyebrows and her nose. Okay. I'm not even going, well, let's go ahead and do it. I was going to say, I'm not even going to pick those up, but since I went into the big ordeal of telling you how to do it. There's one eyebrow. Use your little sticky jewel picker. And now this little nose, oh my word, it's so tiny. Don't lose it. Oh my goodness, I still hear boxes being carried in. Ricardo. All three should be paper from Crafty, I think. Can you open them for me? Okay. Okay. He's going to open it for us. He's so good. Okay. So I've stuck them down. Don't know how close we can get. And then I kind of poke them again to make sure I get them. Let's kind of color her eyebrows a pretty kind of brown color. I've already cut her out of the cookie dough. That's the color you get in your kit. You get 7 pieces of cardstock in your kit. This paper is for sale in the store. So if you're not getting the kit and you just want these colors, I'll show you the colors. We've got several colors, and I have another color that I have that's not in the kit that I need to put in the store. There's her eyebrows. Look, just colored it E25. And then I want her nose to be pink. So I have R11. That's one of my favorite cheeks and nose colors. Look how easy that was. Okay, so let's glue these on. And I'm telling you, there's so little, but it's nice because we've got the little eyebrow emboss. And I don't want to put too much glue. If you have a glue pen, you could use that. Ooh, can you bring that to me? Yes, I want one, please. I want to show everybody. It's so pretty. No, it's not going to be secret. Ta-da! Look how cute! We're going to open this and take a look at it. I have a whole bunch in the store now. I already put it in the store knowing it was coming today. Okay. And you know how we are about paper. One pack's not enough, probably. So, same with ephemera. We have a whole bunch of paper and a whole bunch of ephemera. So, if you are a scrapbooker or a memory maker, or you want paper goods to create your own packaging for, baked goods, we're going to cover all that in the workshop. Okay. So don't worry. Any of your paper crafting things for the holidays, we've got tags, we've got memory, we've got an advent calendar, I think. I think Natalie's going to do an advent calendar, because just for her, I added advent paper to the, look, see that little teeny tiny nose? I put numbers in the paper pack just for Natalie, because she's our paper crafting queen. I think she's going to do an advent calendar, and she has just the cutest ideas. Look how easy that was. Isn't she so cute? That's the easiest way I can think of to do those pieces. So if you've got a better way, let me know. But now let's put these together. And here's how nice it is. Look, we put these so that they'll match up perfectly. And when you do that, then the petticoat will show perfectly. Got it? Thank you, Laura. I know. I'm really excited about this one too. I tried to add in a little bit more of the basics that can layer. In the past, I get so excited and I do all these scenes and things like that. But I think for the holidays, lots of times you don't want like all the extras. And so I try to keep in mind like how scrapbookers and paper crafters and everybody tend to want to use it, and see how you can match that up easily. And then you've got the perfect petticoat right there. So I'm going to show you, I got a little bit of goobers on there from the glue. I'm going to show you, I have the perfect tool for that. And I think it's on my supplies list that I did not post today, because I think I just posted the store, but I will do a supplies list so that you know where to get some of these other tools that I like to have and use. Look how easy it is to add the little dress right there, because it just matches up perfectly. Okay, so put that down. Look how cute. And then we'll get her wings on here. And I'm just going to kind of put it there in the middle. And I'm going to use the guide just as a little cheat sheet to see kind of where we were thinking her wings might be. About like right there. I love it. So, and then this way, by sticking them on in just the middle, you can kind of move them. Diana, I love her too. And she's not even done yet, right? We need to get some hair. And I don't want to take that hair off. So let's just, we need a new piece of cardstock. Here's how I did this hair that was so super easy. Because she is bald, right? We don't want her to be bald. I just took you can ink swipe, you can use cardstock, and we can give her blonde hair, we can give her brown hair, whatever you want to do. And I just colored with a marker back and forth so that it's kind of even. The more you color, the more it's going to blend together. Okay. Super easy. Look how I didn't have to get up. I didn't have to pull out any other cardstock. And then it's this one. And there's even an embossed line. So if you want to use a colored pencil, a very sharp one, and kind of add in some detail, if you want it to be a little bit more detailed, I kind of like the look of just the kind of traditional die cut. Not a lot of shading or anything on here, but it's there if you want to do that. And then we have our halo, right? So this is good because it's just giving you an intro, and I'm trying to do this for all of the new things in the store. Just do a quick little how-to video. Of course, these will be a little bit more involved, so that everything in the store has a little tutorial on how you can, especially if it's dies or whatever, so you can see how it works and how to put it together. Even stamped images so you can see it in real life and not just a picture, especially because we're all trying to keep the pirates from stealing all of our designs that we've designed and paid people to do and stuff. So I take all of my pictures at an angle so that they can't copy it so much. And I want to make sure I don't get her eyebrow. So I'm putting her hair kind of to the side. And can you see that little embossed line? There you go. If I wanted to use a pencil, like I said, that's what I was talking about, to kind of trace that. Sometimes I tend to mess things up like that, and I don't want to do that. So we're not going to. Now look, here's where the magic comes in. Look, seriously. Let's just put this kind of on the bottom. And when I'm doing little fine pieces like this, I like to take it and take a scrap piece of paper and dab off some of the extra glue so it doesn't get all too messy. And look at our picture. We did kind of put it to the side. Let's put our halo kind of to the side. The other thing is with mirrored cardstock, you can scratch it. So here's what I have found. I put it face down on my trimmer because I have a roto trim, and I slide it in and it hasn't scratched it yet that way. But if I put it face up and it goes under, there's like a little bar that holds it down. It was scratching it a little bit. So if I put it face down and then trim it, it didn't scratch it. And when you use the tweezers, that way you aren't getting a bunch of glue on it and kind of mucking it up. Look how cute she is. She is so cute. Now we need to add, here's what I was going to show you. I have these little pencil erasers. This will I got some glue on her dress. So I'm just going to, I think these are great for this. And then it kind of brushes it off. And it gets any of that off, even on her little cheeks. I got a little bit, okay? And that gets it off like that. So it's easy, right? My nose is itchy, sorry. I'm not going to do these little pieces right now, but I'll put it here so you can see it. The little longer ones are for her legs, okay? And here are the ones that have the embossing powder on it. I don't even know if you can see it because they're so fine. But there is what they'll look like. Let's go ahead and do this one. It's so cute. So I put my glue on. Like I said, if you like sticky specs, if you like the Xyron machine, you can use that. And I'm going to dab it. Dab, dab, dab. And then there's those little lines that make it so easy. There's that. And then I do have a little one, and there's her collar, but I want to emboss those too. I just don't want to do it right now. Look at her little collar. So she's got all the frillies. Look how cute she's going to look. Look. Can you see the sparkles on her icing now right there? How cute is that? Isn't she so sweet? Oh my goodness, I love it. And there's a big chunk of that embossing powder. So you'll see, you will get crystals that look like sugar. Look, is she not so cute? Hi, Stacy Junk. Isn't she so cute? Oh my word. So we've got our little angel, and we'll put this one away. And then we've got our Mrs. Claus. Look. Oh, I love them. And then we've got Mr. Claus. And then we've got Joe Schmo with his ugly sweater on, but he's got a candy cane too. Are they not? They're called gingerbread cuties. And I think they are just about the cutest things I've ever seen. I tell you what, love them so very much. So if you aren't getting the kit, these will be available in the store 2026. Okay. But get the kit, right? It's only $199. And you get like $400 worth of stuff. So, so very, very cute. I love it. So there's that. Now, before I lose anything, especially now that I pulled out another one, don't want to lose anything that will be Thelma's. So let's get this in here. Ricardo's coming to get my phone because it's chiming. Okay, there's that one. Here's this one. I'm going to put this one in here. Okay, so have you seen anything else in the store? Let's look at some other things I want to show you. I'm so excited about everything. It's just not even funny. Okay, let's put this stuff here. Let's look at the paper since it just came. Y'all are going to get the preview with me. Here is the cover. Okay. Ooh, it came out perfectly. I know she would be cute with white hair. You're right, Laura. I gave her white eyebrows. Okay, cover. And here are the colors. Let me show you this for the paper. Did I bring in? I thought I brought a pack. Hey, Ricardo. Oh, wait. Never mind. No. Where is it? Hold on. I thought I had paper to show you so you could see what colors come in the kit, but I guess not. So that's okay. So here is the cover. We've got pink. We've got, let's see, what is it? Pink punch or pink frosting. Cherry Crush is the red cardstock. Then we've got mulled wine is the burgundy. And then there's frosted mint and forest pine, cookie dough, and French vanilla for the colors of, and then you get a quarter sheet of mirror gold. Okay, so those are the colors of cardstock that you get in your kit. So, you know, those are a lot of the colors that are in the paper collection. So here is the green. And look at the back. It's burgundy polka dots. Okay, look at this. How cute. There's our little gingerbread. There's our candy cane. And there's our peppermints. Is that not the cutest? And then we've got the red with white polka dots. Then we've got like a tan kind of craft looking with cookies and candy canes and all the greenery and berries. So pretty. I love it. And then you've got like a sagey green in the paper. Like, and I'll tell you why. Because a light green, when they print it, it's really, really hard to get the color you want or that you see in your mind for them to print it. And I could not, when they print it, it is, if you know anything about CMYK color, it's not as bright and vibrant as on your computer screen. So I went with a sage green because I knew I could not get the frosted mint color in the paper that I wanted. So that's why we have a sage green in the paper. Look at the pattern paper. We've got Christmas trees and bows and ornaments. Love that. So cute. And then we've got the tan check plaid. Okay. Look how pretty. We've got the flowers with pink. And then we've got our green. Just a basic kind of background, kind of vintagey looking. Okay. More pattern paper with bows. And this one has Santa and reindeer on it. How cute. And then we've got the pink, just basic. And then look, and then we've got cut apart cards. You can either leave this like this, or you can cut them apart and they are 3 by 3 because this is 6 by 6 paper. So we've got the cards. So cute. Okay. And there's the back is the dark green plaid. And then we've got more cut apart cards. Okay. And sage green plaid. And then we've got sentiments. You cut apart sentiments, and there's even a little like scallop you can put on tags or cards or whatever. And we've got snowflakes. So this is cut apart. Put it in your trimmer. Trim it straight down, and then the sentiments you can cut apart and just use however you want. And on the back we have dark green polka dots. And then here's your Advent. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a pink Baroque kind of or a damask on the back. And then we've got 10 through 18. And look at that, how pretty that is. The red with the burgundy damask. And then we've got 19 through 25. And then you just have a couple of little things. These, by the way, are sized, I believe they're about 1 inch. All the numbers are about 1 inch. So you can use a little bit bigger hole punch, or you can cut them straight down, or a die or something. And they should, I think I sized them all to be small, about an inch. So they'll fit perfectly on almost anything. Okay. And then we've got the green with the dark green damask. There you go. There's your paper pack. And then I have the ephemera that goes with it. Let's see. There it is. So it's got coordinating ephemera also. And all the good things with some sentiments. Isn't it pretty? All kinds of good things in there. Here's the Merry Christmas one. I see another Christmas tree. I see a pink poinsettia. So very pretty. I love it. Do you love it? I love it too. So there's our paper pack. This is in the store. You also get it in the kit, but you can buy it if, you know, out of the store. Same thing with the embossing powder. Okay. So there's that. Oh, I have to show you the bows that I worked on this week. Seriously. These with the coordinating dies are in the store. They are not part of the kit. We have, look at this. This is the Woodland Christmas Friends. And I gave you some scenes. I think I showed this last week. All different things you can do with this adorable little coloring stamp. Isn't he cute? The dies just came yesterday. So this is in the store. Okay. And if you buy them together, I have bundled them and you get 10% off. So if you want the dies with the stamps, it's 10% off. So make sure when you click on this, scroll down, and we're working on the website, by the way. Scroll down and you should see a bundle that says buy them together and you get 10% off. And you can just hit the button and add them both to the cart and get 10% off. Okay. So those, how cute are they? You'll see me coloring these in the next couple days for sure. They are so cute. And then we've got Santa's North Pole. And the dies are in for these. Same thing. There's a bundle. Buy the stamps, buy the dies, get 10% off. Not in the kit. This is separate. Okay. But these are in the store now. Aren't they so cute? And look, you can put different things on the sign. North Pole, Merry Christmas, Santa's Workshop. And then there's sentiments with it. And look, the cookies and everything. Milk, stars, so many cute things. And let's see. Here's a little scene that you can put together. We even have little snow mounds in there. Okay. Isn't he so cute? Look at his little reindeer. I love him. I love him so much. So, and I stamped out. Look how pretty and perfectly the stamps stamp out. Seriously. Manufacturer. I only go with the ones that I think are the very, very best. And they do produce. So those are in the store. Let's talk about bows. Oh my goodness. Y'all are going crazy for the bows. And you should be, because look, I went nuts creating bows. So these are bows that are in the kit. Okay. Oh, that one I kind of messed up. This is put a bow on it too. And I put two together. I think there's 3 pieces for this. There's one. There's just a pink one. I just put one together so you'd see. This is 2 so that you get the dimensional effect. Okay. I cut it out twice, 2 different colors, and this is just one. That's the bow that's in the kit. There it is in 2 colors, light pink and dark pink. So cute. Look at the little detail in the little middle part of the knot. That even cuts out so you see the shading. And can you see the embossing? Look, there's embossed lines on it to make it look like it's kind of wrinkled. And then look at this. This is the bow number 1. This is exclusive to the kit. I had so much fun. Look at all these bows I made. Did you see the picture of these? Look, I did the rainbow. I couldn't stand it. Look how stinking cute these are. This is bow number 1. Put a bow on it, number 1, exclusive to the kit. This is bow number 2, exclusive to the kit. And then we've got a teeny tiny little bow, and I have to find it. Let me find it. It's somewhere here among the mess. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, they're over there. Hold on one second. Let me get them. Because I was taking pictures of them. Wait until you see these. And these are perfectly sized to add a little something something. on a card, on a tag, anything. These are so cute. And you can see the different sizes. So in your kit, you've got the larger bow, and I think this is about 3 inches by 3 inches. Then you have this middle size, and you can see the difference. This is about a middle size. This still fits on an A2 card. Okay. Then you have the middle size. And then we have these smaller ones. Look. Look. Here's just the way the die cut cuts it out. And it's your little petite one. Okay. It'd go at the top of a tag, or put it on a sentiment on a card. And there's the 3 sizes. Look. So you've got every size you need right here. And that comes in the kit. They're exclusive to the kit. But look at the bow when you double it. Here's how it cuts if you just put it together the way it cuts. Okay. Look what happens when you cut the top bow out twice, flip it, and then cut it out 2 more times in a dark color. Look. Isn't that so cute? All the different things. And then wait, look what I did. I cut it out through, how many times? 1, 2, 3, I think like 6 or so. 2, 4, 6, 8. I cut it out 8 times and it made a little flower. How cute. So many things. So there's your, oh, look at it in pink. Seriously, so very cute. And then, now we do have one, if you're not getting the kit, let me find it. And you want a bow, I didn't forget you. And I do have a bow in the store that is not in the kit. And it's funny because I already had people buying it today who got the kit because they obviously 3 bows weren't enough and they needed all the bows. And it made me laugh so hard because it was so much me and what I would do. Because we want all the bows, right? Oh, and by the way, there's our little frosted cake that's in the kit. He's so cute. I can't stand it. Let's see. What else have we got? I've got all kinds of goodies in here. I know I showed these last week, but they're so cute. There's our big peppermint. I'm looking for that other bow is what I'm actually looking for. Let me see. It's got to be here in my junk pile. Let me look. Hold on. Give me a second. There's so much stuff on my desk. It's not even funny. I have that bow somewhere because I took a picture of it. It was, I don't know where it is. Did y'all see it? I think I showed it last week. It's so cute. Let me find it. Hold on. I can at least find the die. Let me find it. Bear with me. There's just so many things. I wanted to show you. I wanted to craft with something else that's in the store that, let me see. I know I have it somewhere because I obviously used it. I'm going to get one. Hold on. This one will be Thelma's too. Hey, Thelma, I'm using all your stuff. Hold on. Okay, this one. Did I show this one last week? This is in the store. It's not in the kit. This is put a bow on it 5. Because 4 I didn't release. Probably down the line. This is 1. That's put a bow on it 1. This is put a bow on it 2. Put a bow on it 3. Actually, it's this one. Put a bow on it 3. 4 we didn't release. And then this is put a bow on it 5. This one is in the store and not in the kit now. I know. I'm not opening it though. I thought I would, but I won't because I have one somewhere. It's on my desk. I'm sure because this is so pretty. Look at all the little embossed lines that it does. And then it cuts these out. So, and then there's the back so you can make a darker color, kind of like we did on these. Cut out the background in a darker color. Cut out 2 of the tails. Cut this out in lighter. And look, it even has the knot. Cut it out in the darker color and then the lighter color. And it looks like that. And it is so cute. And this one is kind of in the middle of you know, in between sizes of this one and this one. So it does fit into the line. So this one is in the store and not in the kit. So if you love the bows, I've had lots of people buying this bow because and even people who got the kit, they want all the bows, right? I know, isn't it so cute, Laura? It's so cute. I love it. I did add, if you didn't notice, there is a new embellishment mix in the store. Also, it's called Snow Angel. It's a little bit different than Snow Flurries and all the other winter mixes that I have in the store. This is exclusive to the kit. This is exclusive to the kit. They won't be in the store until 2026. Some things that are in the store, let me think, and I was going to use this tonight and show you, is the Art Deco Christmas tree. I cut it in a square, but it's actually got a frame. I wanted to do this, but it's already 8:07, and I stamped it and used the embossing powder. I don't know how well you can see it, the sparkle, but it's so, there's the sparkle. Look how pretty. So we've got a collection. This is in the store, also in the kit. It's a 4-layer stencil. You can just do stars. You can do the whole tree, or you can do part of the tree and the bottom of the tree. You can stamp it, and then it's got the coordinating die. Tip. I would recommend, if you're going to stamp it, to die cut it first and then stamp it. Just because, you know, it's these things you learn as you start manufacturing. I have to be very specific when I tell them how to do it. They should have cut the trees out, and they didn't. They only... I didn't want it to cut the trees out. I want to be able to see through the die. So it cuts this part out, but you can't see the tree with the die, but it's fine because die cut it first and then stamp it second. Okay. These are just little tips I'm sharing. There's a frame around the die, so you can make a shaker. You could put this over acetate and then let it shake behind it. It's so pretty. Seriously. So there's 4 coloring stencils and a background die and the stamp. It's in the kit, but it's in the store. So if you don't get the kit, you could just get that collection. And it's bundled also. You get 10% off. Any kind of thing that coordinates, I made bundles so you can get 10% off. Okay? And I have free shipping in the store too. If you orders over $75, you get free shipping. All right? I know. See, I'm all about all the pretty things. Okay, everybody. Look, stop it. I'm so excited about these guys. Like, this is the first time I created with them. And I will show you. I was going to cut more out because this was just I was just playing. Look, here's the big tag. Remember, you can cut it out and make it a shaker. But this is, look how they fit perfectly on the tag too. This is the big tag. So they fit perfectly on the big tag, these gingerbread cuties. Look how cute on the big tag. I had everything in mind when we designed, when we sized things. I wanted it to all be able to work together. So that gives you an idea. Look on the tags, how it all works together. Oh, Laura, thank you. Like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for all of your support and all of your excitement. I know I get excited, but I know if I get excited, y'all are going to be excited too. And I'm having so much fun. And I have my idea for one of my classes. I'm going to teach 2. Unfortunately, Angelica we need to pray for her. Both her father and her father-in-law are very seriously ill. And so she's not going to be able to participate. So I know you're stuck with me for 2 classes, but I'm going to kind of take the ideas that she had and probably do one class with not her ideas, but the overall concept, because she and I both agreed on that one. And so I'm going to do that. And then I just had an idea in the last couple days for my other class, and I'm really excited. At least one project, really, really excited about it. Cross your fingers. I have to try it and hope that it works. Okay. Because I've never done it before, but I think it's going to be fun. And I think that's it. Anything else? Can I answer anybody's questions? I hope you're as excited as I am, because stop it. Like, I'm so excited to see the embossing powder in action. And look how, remember at the very beginning, if you were on, I talked about translucent vellum and the thickness. And this lightweight kind was perfect for her wings because they truly look like you can kind of see through them. So it was perfect. Okay. Thank you everybody for joining. By the way, that embossing powder on these pieces so that they look frosted and sugary, crystally. Wouldn't that be so pretty? I'm so excited. And adding details. If you have like a glue pen or an embossing pen, you could add details to things like, I'm definitely adding some crystallized sugar to this frosted cake and the sprinkles. And I think it's going to be so pretty. All kinds of things you can do with the embossing powder. Like, it really, the idea, wow, really made it come to life. So I'm just so excited. Go check out the store. Everything is there except for the coloring stencils for Timeless Beauty stamp. They should be here any day now. So it's all in there. Yay! We're ready. We're going to have an Instagram hop a week from Saturday. So, join in the fun of the Instagram hop. And, I don't know if I'll be live again this weekend or not, but there's just so much going on. Probably not. I will not be live next Thursday. I'm going to see Thelma. So, I will not be live next Thursday. I might go live before then, just so that we can craft together a little bit, because I've just got so many ideas running through my head for these things. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much. Look, I've got a little wrapped peppermint on my desk. I'll see you sometime soon. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions, don't forget to like and subscribe, please, and hit the notification button to be notified for new videos. And for right now, I'm keeping the My Pretty Things on my Everyday Expressions YouTube. It's all going to be together. So go follow the My Pretty Things Facebook group. Don't forget to like and follow and share and all that good stuff. And I don't think Thelma has all the equipment we need. And I don't know how to use phones that way. So I don't know, Laura. Don't put any ideas in her head. Okay? Thanks, everybody, for joining me. I'm going to go have some dinner. I hope you have a great evening and a great weekend. Okay? Bye, everybody. Thank you.